All right, good afternoon, everyone, and we are live. It's great to be here. We tried to make this happen on Tuesday, but we didn't connect. But needless to say, we are going to finish out the week very strong. So it is that time again for the Trading Terrordome with the man, the myth, the legend, the Algocapitalist.
What it is.
What it is, indeed, indeed. Uh, so what's on your radar?
Well, for the most part, my man, staying healthy has been on my radar. To be quite honest with you, that's what I've been working with. Not too much going on in the markets per se. Just a lot of noise and chatter this week. It's been really quiet and slow from my perspective. Just not a whole lot moving. Except there's been some excitement with the whole fork thing that came, excuse me, on August the 1st. But to be
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
honest with
yeah.
you, that was a lot to do about nothing, just as I anticipated. Uh, Bitcoin didn't go nowhere. As a matter of fact, it broke out and I think it hit 29 again, 2,900, and here we are as we talk. It's just shy of 2,800. The only really thing that came out of this, to my understanding, is the Bitcoin Cash. BCC took off.
Yeah.
I never saw that one before, so I guess that was a result of the fork. But who cares? It's down 30, almost 40% right now.
Yeah, shot up when it first took off, and then it came back down a little bit. So I think that was the direct result of the hard fork. So again, I know that there was a lot of people, a lot of speculation going around, and for the most part, in terms of the cryptos, yeah, I think overall, I think that they still had a pretty solid week.
Oh yeah, right now Bitcoin is up over 3% as we speak. So I would say, yeah, they're having a fantastic little bounce here. Like I was telling people, the Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. Let me refresh my page and see where we at now. All right, Bitcoin Cash is down 27.5%. Bitcoin's at 1.8%. Yeah, I mean, you still have, I call them, the big five. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, you got Litecoin, Steam, and then you got the Veritaseum. And I think those are going to be the leaders going forward. Um, the other ones are just going to end up falling by the wayside or get absorbed some kind of way. And the reason being is because now the central banks are attacking on every front. Not only are they using their subsidiaries, the central banks such as JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and the club, to produce their own coins now. Now they want to come out with cryptos. But then you got the central banks themselves that are rushing to join, the whole crypto space. But what they want is the central banks really want to control the blockchain, and because they can't control the one that already exists, they're pushing really fast and hard to come up with their own blockchain. All right, so if they can't join them, then they're going to beat them, and they've also been trying to legislate the whole thing out of existence as well. People have to remember the government hates hates liberty and peer-to-peer, especially peer-to-peer is the thorn in the eye of all governments. They can't stand it. Going all the way back to the day, if you guys remember when peer-to-peer first came out, remember LimeWire and all those other
Oh
places.
yeah, oh yeah,
The
yep.
other one, the name escapes me. Things begins with an N or something. I can't remember the name of it, but that's when this all started. Peer-to-peer sharing of documents and books and files and music and movies. They hate peer-to-peer sharing. All right, because anything that cuts out the government, they hate. Anything that the government is not getting a cut of is considered illegal. All right, remember that
Right,
the
right.
government is your private silent partner. You have to pay to play. You have to pay to exist in the country that you're living in. You have to pay the government to exist. You have to pay the government to get permission from the government. All right, that's how the whole thing is set up. All right, pay for play. All right, and it's been one of those things that they've kept, out of the mainstream media. They don't really touch on it or harp on it because it's something that the government uses. Everything with the government is pay to play. That's why elections cost tens of millions of dollars to run, because you
Mm-hmm.
have to
Mm-hmm.
pay in order to play. And the person that has the most money is usually the person that wins. And not only that, but look at our whole legal system. Our whole legal system is based on pay to play. If you get arrested, you have to pay bail in order to be released. All right? You have to pay. If you want to argue something and you want to get way up on to the Supreme Court, you have to pay $250,000 just to have them even hear your case. Okay? And that's no guarantee that they're going to rule in your favor. It costs money. Everything revolves around paying the system, feeding the beast, either your time, your talent, or your treasure. So basically, as far as the system is concerned, it owns you. And it owns not only you, but everything that involves you. They own you, they own your house, they own everything that you produce, they own everything that you use, everything that you destroy, they own. So this whole blockchain technology has really, really, really done it to them. They're like, we can't allow this to happen. We have to come in and control it. I've been saying this for months, for years. I warned everybody in the beginning, going all the way back to when I first came on YouTube, especially during the May 6, 2010 flash crash. I am one of those people who can claim that they were the first person on YouTube to document the flash crash in real time as it was happening. Then I jumped ahead and I explained to everybody before it hit the mainstream media, before they rolled out their spin piece, I told you what they were going to say before they even said it. I told you how it was going to play out. I told you, I said, this is what they're going to do. And I think I did it in like 4 parts. And it's still up on my YouTube channel. Just type in May 6, 2010, and you'll see your fat finger. And I broke it down, how it is all fraud. Then around, I want to say 2012, 2011. Yeah, about 2011. So I think 2011, when I was with the late, great Charlie McGrath. I broke down how there was fighting going on, infighting, all right, with the powers that be. I said one group wants to, bring down the markets and the economy, and the other group wants to actually create the father of all bull markets, one to make the one in the 90s look ridiculous. Everybody thought I was a fool. They said, how can you say that? And then, if you look at where the Dow was in 2011 and where it is now, how do you explain what I said back in 2011? Look at 2011, where the Dow was, and look at today, where the Dow is.
Right.
I was the first person to say Dow 20,000 and Dow 22,000, back when the Dow was falling like a rock at 18,000. Everybody thought I was bugging.
I remember you calling it, bro. I remember specifically hearing you for the first time calling it.
Yeah, here we are. Now, in addition to that, guess what else has been happening? I found out that some new chick here on YouTube was interviewed by the SGT Report, and they were like, "This is the most important interview I've ever done," whatever. And I realized that all she did was take from my documentary, "The Government versus the Blockchain." Remember that? It's on YouTube. And the shows that I had with what me and V were saying. All right, pick your broadcast. It doesn't matter. We say it all the time. But when she comes on out of nowhere, now all of a sudden, oh, this is the deepest, most intelligent person that's ever been on. This person has so much experience because they used to be a stockbroker. Come on, man. When I break things, oh, I'm crazy. When other people come and start saying, oh, this is incredible information. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm past that. And yes, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, along with the CFTC, everybody's working behind the scenes in cahoots to have now some type of crypto futures. Remember, they want to control everything. They want to control everything. So they have to create their own product because that's the only way they can control it. They can't control the one that exists. They can try to disrupt the existing blockchains and the existing cryptos, but they can't control it. All right. So what does that mean? They open up accounts and they trade them too. They buy and sell coins too. All right. That's what they do because they know they can do it. It's about them making money, but also they want to disrupt the space and make people disgusted with the whole idea of crypto.
Mm-hmm.
They've already made most people
influence it and make some money off of it.
Correct.
Like
and
everyone
then,
else is doing.
while they're legislating out of existence, or at least attempting to. So then you have the other part. Now we know that they've been, just really just digging their heels in with gold and silver, just not letting it move. They won't let gold get above 1280 or 1300. They just won't do it. So here we go. Now I'm gonna say another thing to you guys. Right now, I'm still in the crazy camp. All right. Right now, I am Noah telling people and warning people that it's gonna rain. And everyone's laughing at me because it's never rained before, ever. All right. And 100 years have gone by. I already have a name for myself as being the idiot, right? Because I came out and I said that you're going to see gold and silver and the precious, mining sector. You're going to see those mining stocks blast off 1,000% from where they currently are. Everyone's like, you said that and nothing has happened. Okay, well, like I told you about the new bull market back in 2011. It didn't happen then either, but it's happening now. I told you it was coming. I tell you when it's coming. All right. I also did a series long ago when I broke down the complexity and also the impossibility of breaching time and price. It is almost impossible, and I gave many reasons in those couple of videos that I did. It's just something that Wall Street has always tried to tackle, and you cannot. We do not know the future. Okay, we can only try to prognosticate where we think things may be going in a direction that they're headed, and then we plan accordingly. But what you have to have when you talk about trading is rules so that if what you're saying doesn't happen yet, you have a plan that you can, be there. So when it does go down, you're first in line. That's A. B, you want to have a system in place so that if it doesn't happen yet, what you need to be doing so that you can be prepared to do it. So trading is a little bit different than just trying to call or predict the future. We want to go out and like, for instance, the whole thing with the Bitcoin. People were like, all right, so should I sell my Bitcoins? Should I hold because of the fork? What should I do? Well, I'm not a buy and hold person anyway, not even with penny stocks. All right. I don't buy and hold nothing. I trade everything. So if a stop loss is hit, then I'm out, period.
Dex, I got a question for you in regards to the whole cryptocurrency space. And I completely get why some people are like, I don't believe it. I'm not going to get involved. But I think that you have to at least respect the disruption that it's causing right now into the banksters, right? I mean, in terms of the disruption that's occurring. Now, I'm even a little bit hesitant. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but in terms of the ICOs, and Veritaseum is like in a perfect example. I mean, we're seeing people come from the banking side, these investment bankers that have come out and offering their ICOs, doing these, and they're to me more like initial stock offerings is what they are. They're future promises based upon the money that you're raising. Do you have any hesitation, like I do, regarding some of the ICOs?
All right, that's a very good question. I've been getting bombarded with these types of questions. So let me break it down and let me take my time and do it. I want to address it. On this show, we keep it 100. All right, we're gonna keep it real. I give full disclosure. I don't play around with that. I believe in giving people the truth. So here we go. Truth be told, neither myself or any of my current clients trade in the crypto space. All right, I want to disclose that full disclosure. I do not own one coin. Okay, I have nothing. I'm not operating in that market. However, with the weekly post wave price triggers, I do provide that for people who want to trade that. I am not currently in this space, nor any of the clients that I manage money for at this time. That does not mean that I won't in the future. All right. However, with that being said, I do from time to time trade on the equity side of the crypto space, such as the GBTC ticker, which is the Bitcoin ETF, and a few of the blockchain penny stocks, and
Yeah.
of course, Advanced Micro Devices and NVIDIA are two big players in that space. I trade those from time to time. I currently have no open positions in either of those either. So I want to get that out of the way so that no one can say, oh, he's pumping and dumping. No, I'm not. I have no positions whatsoever, nor anyone that I'm managing money for. All right, so that's out the way. Now let's deal with the issue. Okay. I'm going to paint a picture for you guys to give you exactly the understanding of what's going on. I want you to picture ICOs no different than IPOs in the stock market. The IPO is only as good as the company that is writing it, that is written on, okay? So I don't give a darn about IPOs from day to day. I don't care who's coming out for a new public offering. Who cares? In my opinion, the last best IPO we ever had was Google. All right. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, okay, you can make an argument and say Facebook was another one. Okay, I'll grant you the Facebook. I'll give you that.
Even though they don't
But
produce anything.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about money. Who cares? Even when I trade stocks, I don't care. I don't care what the company does. I don't care if they make paper airplanes. Who cares? I care about price. But I want the people, the listeners, to hear me good. These ICOs are nothing but IPO spinoffs. They're trying to be like the stock market. They're trying to legitimize the crypto space. And you don't need to. It's already legitimized. Bitcoin did it for you. Bitcoin made the whole crypto space legitimized. It's legitimate. All right. It's solidified. All right. So with these ICOs, who cares? Instead of chasing the ICOs, you should be trading with the widely held that already exist. I know that Bitcoin is a little bit too rich for most people. I mean, come on, that'd be like the average person trading a $3,000 stock. All right, not most people can afford a Berkshire Hathaway share of stock. Okay, so there are other things out there. You got Litecoin. You can definitely afford to trade some Litecoin. And if that's too rich for you, you can definitely get in there and do some Steam. All right, it's trading at $1.20. All right, you can afford some Steam. All right, you can be working at McDonald's and afford to buy some Steam.
Nice.
So there's your ICO right there. All right, and if that's still too much, you say, look, man, I don't work at McDonald's. I don't make that much. I work at Walmart. I make way less than that. Okay, for those who work at Walmart, I got something for you too. All right, everyone talks about Ripple. You can trade Ripple. Ripple's the analogous to a penny stock right now. What is it? Trading at 20 cents, 40 cents? Let me just pull it up. Last quote I got, 17 cents. All right, so don't say you cannot afford to play. Yes, you can. Ripple is 17 cents. And yes, it's one of the widely held. Right now, it's 8th on the day with 30.39 million in volume. So it's doing good. That's a good thing right there. It has more volume in Ripple than most penny stocks. All right. And in matter of fact, Ripple has more volume than most ETFs right now.
Yep.
So you have choices. Those are the ones I like. I want to get Ripple on my price waves, but I've been haven't had time to dig into it and try to find it. So my point is, forget all these ICOs. I know it's attractive because like, ooh, an ICO, if it comes out at pennies, and if I can get enough, then when it shoots up like Bitcoin, I can make a lot of money. Wrong answer. In my humble opinion, I don't think we're going to see any other coin do as well as Bitcoin. So you can deal with that. Don't like it. I don't care. I'm telling you what it is. The top 5 that I told you are the only ones I believe that are going to really be, doing something in the future. The Bitcoins is one of them. The Litecoin is the other one. The Ethereum and Steam and Veritaseum. Now, let me tell you why I'm always talking about Veritaseum. Okay. I am not a paid person for Veritaseum. I have never met Reggie Middleton. I know of him, but I don't know him personally, so I cannot sit up here and tell that lie. I know of him, okay, on Wall Street. Anybody who has ever worked as a trader in a trading capacity on Wall Street or any kind of analyst capacity on Wall Street knows Reggie Middleton. All right. So the bottom line is, if you know anything about his analysis, it's not that he's very good; it's he's the best. All right. Some of you don't go back that far. Some of y'all too young. You don't know. You just know him from seeing him being interviewed by a couple of these places on YouTube and stuff like that. He goes way back farther than that. He was one of the first successful black people on Wall Street that I knew of. Him and it was this other cat that used to come on a lot. I forgot his name, but he was up in New York too. Reggie used to deal a lot with ETFs and had analysis. His analysis is I haven't seen any that can match. I'm just telling it like it is.
Yeah. I went back and watched a lot of videos. He was spot on.
Even before YouTube. I'm saying before YouTube ever came out. I know
yeah,
of
he's been featured on RT. He's been on RT. Yeah, he's been all over the place.
Even before that. I'm saying before all of that. Before most people didn't even know who he was. His analysis was ridiculous. All right. When I mean like he does fundamentals. He's the kind of guy that would work at Goldman Sachs analyst desk and put together everything you wanted to know on a particular stock or sector. And I say everything you want to know. I mean, he had everything you wanted to know, and he had it in such a way. The way he put it, he packaged it. It was dope. And to be so ahead of his time back then, when the internet was still a little infant, the way he had it put together was slick. I'm not gonna front. It was slick, And I was inspired. It inspired me to put my stuff together, make it presentable the way he did. It was dope. Now, some people say, oh, he's a scam artist. He's a pumper dumper. He don't know what he's talking about. Veritaseum is a scam. All right, let me tell you something now. I read all the debates. I saw the debates. I saw the blogs. I saw all of that. And I'm going to say this. Even if, let's say, the Veritaseum fails, the fact is, Reggie Middleton is not a fraud. He is a real dude. All right. And people just have to deal with it. If you don't like his Veritaseum, it don't work. It don't work. That doesn't mean that he's a fraud because he had a business venture that failed. So put that out there. I mean, how many people who are calling him, scam and all this other stuff, where they work at? Put your work up against his and see how you come out. I guarantee you will lose. All right. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. I don't know the man. He's not paying me. I'm just saying this is my view on it. As far as ICOs go, Veritaseum is different. Yes, he hasn't released all these inner workings, but let's keep it real, people. That's not the real question you should be asking yourself. How many of you people that are out there give away your intellectual property? Just give it away. Just throw it out there like that. No, the reason why you don't see white papers and stuff on his thing is because they're dealing with intellectual property. It's a game changer what he's trying to do. And you don't even need to know all of that. You just need to know that is this liquid enough for me to trade it? Is it safe enough so I don't get my stuff stolen? And can I get in and out of the market? That's it. And that question can't be answered right now because he's not on the major exchanges because they hate Veri. Veri is basically the enemy of the existing establishment. So now let's break that part down. I thought that the whole blockchain space is for hardcore peer-to-peer, right?
Right.
Why won't you let this peer in? What's wrong with him? I'll tell you why. Because what he's trying to do is change the game. So that should tell you that there is some nefariousness going on behind the scenes. Why are they threatened? How come all the other ICOs can get listed on the exchanges, but he can't? So you should be answering your question is, who has co-opted or in control of some of these exchanges? No one wants to answer that question because it's scary when you find out the truth.
You're right.
I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute.
You're right. You're right, and I did my part. The one thing that we talk about in our world is called a due diligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, in regards to these ICOs and so forth, and I don't know Reggie. I've researched and taken a look at a few things, And maybe I'm more of a traditionalist investor, whatever. So maybe I'm more into maybe I would like to see a business plan. Maybe I would like to see a filing for a patent if you have this technology that's going to revolutionize these smart contracts that we're talking about. Now, I'm not saying that it's at all it's bad what he's doing. I'm saying that if he has it, that's great. But what I do agree upon is exactly what you said: is that what allows the rest of the industry in terms of blockchain, everything else, pick and choose who's going to be listed and who's not. That's absolutely right.
That's no different than NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or any other exchange. You say you want to be peer to peer, and down with the man. You know what I'm saying? We want to do away with the man and cut out the man and the central bank who's the bully. But now you're setting yourself up to do the same thing. Now you're being the bully. What's the difference between what they're doing and what all the other exchanges do, or what the Fed does? What's the difference? The Fed doesn't tell us anything too, but yet we trust it. You still put your money in the bank, don't you?
Yep, that's true. That's true.
As a matter of
Can't
fact, they
deny
made it
that.
so that you can't bypass the bank. You cannot bypass the bank. You can do certain things without using them, but the major things, if you want to like move real money from place to place, you can't get past a bank. You have to go through the central bank. All right. So, and let's break it down a little bit more. Let's go another. Let me take you into
Let's
the
do it.
other room. It's getting
Let's do
stuffy in
it.
this room. Let's go to the other room. Let me take you into the sun room. All right, here we go. Let's set some light on some stuff. All right. People giving the man a hard time over the white paper and the patents and all this other stuff. Did you know that 99% of all the white papers that are written is mumbo jumbo and garbage and means absolutely nothing? It's all based on theories and conjecture, nothing necessarily proven. It's just hypothesis on top of hyperbole. So the
I
white
agree.
paper
Yep.
means nothing. The white paper means nothing. But now you made a good, valid point about the patent, though. Now the patent is another situation. I can't speak on that because I don't know the inner workings and the in and outs of their whole Veritaseum setup. So I can't say that that's a good thing or a bad thing or justified or not justified. But as far as business stuff, like what do they do? I'm trying to think. You know how you get brain fog all of a sudden? What's that thing? Prospectus. Okay,
Yeah,
prospectus. All
prospectus.
right.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Now that's a really good point because the SEC says you have to have a prospectus and stuff like that, right? Guess what? Those prospectus are also bogus. Now, for those of you who are unaware of how you can cheat on a prospectus, let me explain to you how they cheat on a prospectus. Say ABC Company is a company of mutual funds, right? And you're interested in investing in ABC Company's, uh, different funds that ABC Company has going. And the fund that you've really been hearing a lot about is the Z Fund. So you want to take a look at the prospectus for the Z Fund. You look at the current holdings of the Z Fund. And you're like, oh, these are some dope companies. Yeah, oh man, that company like there is up like 1,000,000% this year. Wow, yeah, I think I'm going to throw some money at this. And then when you read the fine print, you realize that the prospectus that you're reading is probably 6 months or more old. Now, back in the day, certain funds had to file and update their stuff like once a year, twice a year, whatever, usually like once a year. So you don't know if the current holdings is that or not. I'm sure most people have heard of the term window dressing that happens at the end of the year in the month of December. That's when the funds who missed the boat on some of the high flying stocks will go ahead and buy them joints so that they can legally list it on their prospectus that they're about to roll out. And when you do that, you get to also put what the return would have been as well. So it's hypothetical and it's not necessarily a true representation of the fund's current holdings. And guess what? If they roll out a fund that does poorly, they get to retrofit and retro date the new fund and do away with the old one. They can shuffle. It's crazy. I would
Right. It
literally have to
is.
show you some of the prospectuses from the early 90s, it will blow you away. And I would
Dex, I
have to
tell you what.
point it out.
No. I completely agree with you. I mean, probably more than probably 90% of either a business plan, prospectus is written by attorneys. It's written by these people. They pay for it. I mean, they pay for those figures. They pay for those numbers, and they're all based upon real numbers anywhere.
No, hypothetical, dude. As a matter of fact, when when you're trying to sell certain things, you literally have to put, especially if you're an associated person, you have to put down that everything that you're saying is based on hypothetical trading performance, and that past performance is not indicative of future results. You have to literally say that if you're an associated person.
You wouldn't believe, Dexa. We I'm in also I'm in the cannabis industry as well, and one of the things, the bridges we had to cross was, of course, was the business plan. And you would not be surprised how many times people were like, "Well, you don't have to write your own. You just buy one.
Yes.
You just buy one. You just buy a business plan based upon what other companies done, not real numbers or any type of you know intellectual thought. It's just based upon what's going to look good to the investors."
Right. So at the end of the day, Reggie, I think that he doesn't need any of that other stuff. Okay, because it means nothing. What means something is the performance of stuff going forward. And I will end it on this. I have done enough research and read enough where there is some kind of weird manipulation going on behind the scenes at a lot of these exchanges right now with the crypto space. So be aware of that, folks. It's a lot of fraud going on with these ICOs. I've heard about so much fraud going on. It's not even funny.
Well,
So beware.
Ken Shortgen Jr. From the Daily Economist points this out quite often, as the fact that within the dollars, the realm of the crypto space, it's almost the equivalent of the market, where 1% controls 99% of the market, and the rest is the pocket change of you and I. So yeah, so but anything has risk, whether it's the stock market, whether it's precious metals, whether it's Bitcoin. There's obviously risk associated, and Dex, that's why your work is so important, is to get people in the trading room, get people to understand how to monitor those, and to be careful and safeguard against some of those risks.
It's the same principles no matter what market you're talking about. Trading is not investing. Investing is buy and hold, or I should say buy and pray. We don't do that. We trade. I even will get out and take a loss on a penny stock if it don't move right. You got to be prepared to do that. If you hold in some Bitcoin, you got to trade it. I don't care where you bought it at. If it's moving back, you don't want to give back all your gains. And that's how you do it. And then if you want to get back in, you can always get back in, or you sell short when the thing is falling. You're supposed to make money in rising markets as well as falling markets, people. You got to learn how to short stuff. If you don't know how to short stuff, you need to come to postwavetrading.com so we can school you on how to do that right. All right. That's what you need to do. And if you're still uncomfortable with that, okay, you can still make money buying even in a bear market. Even if something is crashing, you can still make money on the way down buying as well as on the way up. You just have to know how to do that too. Yeah, I know that sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? How do you make money buying something that's crashing? Like on the flash crash. You better believe there is a handful of people that made a pretty penny during the last couple of flash crashes we had buying. Did they buy at the absolute bottom? No. But they made money buying. You just have to learn how to do that. And that's what I teach people how to do. How to do that. How do you do it? How do you use, these genetic algorithms to do that? How do you use technology to your advantage? How do you learn the things that the central banks don't want you to know? And I've been schooling people all week with the end of day reports, telling you, what's happening in these markets, even especially with the gold and the silver. I told you, be careful. I said, we're at a price inflection point, that on an intraday basis, if these numbers are crossed, it's going to open up much downside. And that's what you're seeing today. Gold and silver, if it fails to close above the weekly momentum line, is going to be beaten down. And what do? What do we do when that happens? Well, number one, you never let go of your physicals. You don't sell your physicals. You do not sell your physicals ever. Okay. So what you do is you get long the paper. All right. You go into the paper market where the central bank is doing damage, and you join the party, and you make money. So the price of your physical is always going to ebb and flow, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can maintain your purchasing power and price of your physicals by going into the paper market and joining the party. So that way you still have a cost basis equal to where you bought it at from the beginning. Now, think about that for a minute. I'll give you an example. Say you were one of the lucky people that bought gold back when it was $280 an ounce. All right. And let's say you were paying attention when gold futures hit $1,900 that day. And you were like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is awesome. It sure would be nice to lock in this kind of profit for myself. But I don't want to get rid of my physicals. So what do? I'll tell you what you do. You get long the paper market. When the price starts to go down, you get long the paper market. And now you're making money as the price is falling back down. And you make the lion's share. Let's say it goes from 1900 all the way back down to 280. And you are short from 1900 all the way down to 280. Has your purchasing power of your gold been corrupted now that it's $280 an ounce, the same price you bought it at? No, because you realize capital gains on the way down. See what I'm saying, folks? You got to know how to pimp this thing. Because understand, if you don't, the central banks will, and they're pimping us every day.
Dex, I got a question for you, man. The last couple of weeks, at least, it seems like Greenspan has been out there, touting this horn regarding the not touting the horn, but just the warning regarding the bonds and the collapse of the bond market and everything. So, I think you've done some end of the day reports on it. So what say you, man?
Yes, I did. I did cover that. Matter of fact, the last one I did, let's see, I said bond. No, what I say? Bonds don't mean something, whatever it is. So let me break it down. Okay, first of all, who is Alan Greenspan? Alan Greenspan was that famous cheerleader from back in the day, head of the Fed at the Fed Reserve, back in the 90s, back when the president's name was Clinton. All right, and we had that go-go session. And what happened? Well, they did a lot of pumping and printing of dollars to prop up the economy. And then they blamed people who took advantage of the free money. Now, Alan Greenspan, understand, he was part of the system. They're not good people. They're not good guys. All right. When you talk about the Fed is here for one thing, to control you. All right. So here's what happened. He's coming out now that he's not the Fed chair anymore, and saying, oh, by the way, there's a bond bubble, and when we start unwinding, our holdings, interest rates are going to go through the roof and destroy the economy. All right. Let's just analyze that for a minute. Okay. Who's been telling you that the Fed has a trading account and it goes beyond the power of the PPT? Presidential Working Group was designed to have the markets be maintained during disruptions. But what you don't know is that beyond the Fed's working group, the Federal Reserve has a trading account too. And the Federal Reserve has been buying futures and stocks and stuff for decades. And it's just now coming out now that, that's what they've been doing. All right, that's what they do. So now here's the scary truth that he didn't tell you. Remember, Greenspan doesn't speak English. He speaks Fed speak. You have to read between the lines of what he is saying. He's the master. He is Emperor Palpatine of markets. All right. Your boy, what's the other one? What was his name? The one that took his place. I can't think names right now, but he was more Darth Vader. All right. So what he's really telling you is this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Fed has been buying stocks and futures and propping up this market. Yes, the retail investor died a long time ago. We threw him off a cliff. And we're the ones that's been pushing up the stock market. We're the ones that's driving up the markets and buying stocks. Understand that. We are the ones that's pushing the market. And when we decide to no longer do this, your precious investments and your pensions and everything else that you so beloved are going to be burnt toast once we pull the plug. So that is what they were telling you. And I'm going to tell you how even that's a lie. Because he's basically admitting that, yes, we broke the system, we broke your markets. And by the way, when we unwind everything, we're going to let the interest rates just go through the roof. If that was the case, why are they not doing it now? They know better. That was just to scare everybody. But also to let you know that, yo, we're in control, we're in charge, and I don't care if you even know it. All right, so that's what you need to know. Now, a lot of people say, the banking cartel, and they want to say the Jews own everything. That is a lie. The Jews have been getting a bad rap for centuries now. All right. The people that everyone's calling the Jews that run Hollywood and the stock market are not Jews. They're Khazars. All right. They are Caucasians. They are not the original Hebrew Israelites. They co opted the Hebrew Israelites religion going all the way back to 70 AD when the temple was destroyed and the diaspora took place, and most of the Hebrew Israelites fled to northern and central Africa, and most also settled in West Africa, and unfortunately were carried here during the slave trade. So people need to understand that. You're looking at the Khazars. These are not the real Hebrew Israelites. They're Khazars, all right? Eastern Europeans, all right? They are not Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelites do not look like the Khazars. They are in Africa, and there's a big presence of them still in Africa right now. That's the truth of the matter. So I just want to put that out there for people who don't know what I'm talking about. You need to educate yourself
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
in the
I agree.
matter. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I agree. And let's close off with this. There's been a lot of speculation and regarding the dollar, the recent slide, and are we going to see a balance here? I mean, not holding you to it, but what does your data tell you, Dex?
Last night I did a video talking exactly about what you just asked me. You asked some dope questions, dude. I love it. The report that I did is from last night, and the day report is called U.S. Dollar Breakout Momentum Building. That's the title of the video. It was posted at 8:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the U.S. dollar was still down. Today, the U.S. dollar is up almost, I want to say 60 cents right now, trading at 93.44 after coming off of like a 92.50 something handle. So I would say I'm already right. When everyone else was calling for the dollar to get, to fall out of bed, the dollar turned on a dime, and the euro is the one that was down over 120 some pips earlier this morning.
Yep.
So with that being said, who am I? I don't know what I'm talking about. The truth of the matter is, let me break this down so everybody can sleep good tonight. Y'all ready? Here we go. If you have not been watching my end of day reports, shame on you. I explained to you that the US dollar has built into it a lot of fluff. The US dollar is bullish from 90 onward. Anything below 90 is bearish. All right. What does this mean? It means that they can let the dollar slide $3 more and go from 93 all the way down to 90 and still be in a safe zone. Okay, you guys are mixing, not you personally, sir, but the people who are talking about, oh, the death of the dollar, death of the dollar. No, they're mixing two different things. The dollar is a fork. It's a two-road fork. You got your trading exchange dollar versus other basket of currencies, and then you have the macro dollar, which is our spending, the power of our savings and whatnot that has been
The
demolished over the last 70
domestic
years.
dollar.
There you go. So when we're talking about the exchange, that actually is the pulse of the macro market as well. If you see the dollar go below 90, then yes, you can start saying, okay, economy in trouble, the US dollar is in trouble. All right. If it stays above 90, we're still bullish. And all the other people talking that hoorah stuff, where were they when the dollar was at 77 cents? Where were they when it was 88 cents on the exchange? I
Yep.
didn't hear none of them making no noise. But now they want to try to say, oh, the death of the dollar. They're always a day late and a dollar short. They always want to call bear market when the market's hitting new highs, or bull market when the market's hitting new lows. Stop it. There's nothing wrong with on the exchange with the dollar. The dollar is being purposely pulled down. Trump told you he was going to do this before it started happening. He said we need a weaker dollar for import export reasons because he wanted to compete and was tired of the U.S. getting its butt kicked. Okay, that's why he allowed it to slide. Remember, we were at parity with the U.S. dollar. Does anyone remember that? It was only a few months ago we were at parity. The dollar was at 102. All right. Then
Right.
it fell
Yep.
down to where it is now at 93. Okay. So it got smashed pretty good. But Trump told you he was going to do that before he did it. So no one should be surprised and be calling about death for the dollar, this, and look at the power destruction of our purchasing wealth. All that's true. Yes, all of that is true. All right. Our dollar's worth about 4 cents right now. We all know that. That's nothing new. All right. Get off the fear porn. Tell the people the truth of what's happening so they can, go about their business. Tell people when things are really, really, really in trouble, which they're not right now. The Fed is not ready to pull the plug. Things will happen when the Fed wants it to happen. I told and warned people of that too. I said, stop, don't believe the hype about, stock market crash and all this other stuff. Look, man, the market ain't going nowhere no time soon unless they want it to. And it's going to do it without warning if that's what they're building. They can push the button, and when Monday comes, the Dow could be down 800 points for no reason. They can make up a story why it's down 800 points, but if they want that, that's what they'll do. But from a technical trading standpoint, there's nothing on the chart to suggest that that should be happening right now. As a matter of fact, stock index is a little mixed. All right, the Dow is hitting these new highs, but the Nasdaq has been, losing a little bit of steam here, and the Russell basically fell completely out of bed and turned a little bearish. But as far as their trends are concerned, the trends are not destroyed. The trends are still what they are. The Dow is still in a parabolic state. The Nikkei is still in a parabolic state. The Nasdaq is still in a parabolic bull market. The Russell is still in a bull market, but it's no longer parabolic. That's the only difference. And the S&P is also in a parabolic market. That's right. You heard me say it right here live on the show. If you look at the post wave price triggers from the algorithmic perspective, we're still in a bull market in all of the stock indexes right now. Period. So nothing to see here. Move on. What you should be concerned about is this bond market. You heard what they told you with the bond market. You heard what the Fed told you. Said we're going to start unwinding our balance sheet. All right. Now that to me is the smoking gun. If you want to fear porn something, start talking about the Fed balance sheet and break that down what that really means. Because with that could be disastrous depending on how they go about it. If they start dumping all this stuff at once, yeah, the market will crack. All right. But that's still not the end game, folks. Go back and look at my Dow Jones video that I did explaining to you that the Dow at that time had 10,000 points of money printing built into it, meaning that the Dow could crash 10,000 points and still be in a bull market. All right, so forget all of that stuff. Okay, now let's look at as far as what is it going to take for the miners to become parabolic like the stock market, I explained that in my last video. I've been giving you guys timelines too now to take a look at, trying to give you the price along with the time so you can see how they converge with each other. So it just depends. It depends on a lot of factors. Um, Gold and silver is very tricky because they're commodities, but they're also a currency. All right, gold and silver is money and nothing else. Remember, that's the old saying, but now we got to say gold and silver and Bitcoin is money and nothing else. We got to add the Bitcoin to that now. So gold and silver and Bitcoin is money and nothing else. All right. So because of that, they're gonna be controlled by a lot of factors. Gold and silver is going to be affected by what happens with the dollar, because the dollar has been weakening. You would have thought gold and silver would go up more, but because the Fed is helping to push down the gold and silver, it's not allowing it to move. Understand that the Fed has to do this. They have to attack the gold and the silver for many reasons. One, it helps finance what they're doing with the stock market, but also understand that how I want to put this: the if gold and silver were allowed to move like they really want to, it would cause people to question the narrative. They don't want anyone to be able to question the narrative
Right.
with
Exactly.
solid proof behind it. They don't mind you just talking. They're like, you ain't got no proof. You can't prove it, but you'd be able to prove it if gold was trading at $3,000 an ounce. All right. No matter what the VIX does, if
Bingo.
gold is at 3,000 and the VIX is still trading below 10, people are gonna be like, yo, wait up. Let me dump my stocks. We're in trouble. You see what I'm saying? Cryptos are going up, and some people, it's not real money, right? But let the cryptos, just go parabolic to the upside along with gold and silver and see what will happen. They won't be saying that no more. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
So all I'm saying to people is I don't know what or when it's what it will take for the gold and silver and the miners to get up and going. I just know from a trading perspective from day to day what's happening. Remember, I'm the guy that first told you. No one else on YouTube was telling you this. I told you that the Federal Reserve, the central banks, all were in cahoots together and that they were operating in the crypto space. I was the first person to break that. As a matter of fact, it's in the weekly post-wave price triggers. Not only do I tell you when to buy and when to sell, but I also give you the technicals to let you know if large institutional money is involved or if the high frequency trading is showing up in that space. And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately in the crypto space, not only do we have high frequency trading bots available, but we also have large institutional positions also operating in that space. It's no longer virgin space. The crypto space is now where big boys are playing. China and Russia have already said we're putting our currency on the blockchain. All right.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
what are you going to do with that? You know what I'm saying? I told you guys that was coming. I told you. No one was listening, but I told everybody. Go back and look through these interviews here on Rogue Money. All right, with the Trading Terrordome, and go back and look at my end of day reports, and look at the documentaries I've done, and you'll see what I've been telling you this all along, so that no one would get it twisted. But because who am I? No one listens to me, right? So I don't get the credit. I don't get the props. They give it to other people. They give it to them with the big channels and 1 million followers. I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have 1 million
Oh, that's
followers.
just such
Can
a sad
somebody please
story.
subscribe to my channel? Can you please hit the
Well, you
like
know what we
button?
could do? We can go buy you some. We're gonna do an ICO for subscribers.
That would work, right? ICO for subscribers. That would be great.
All right, everyone, you heard it here first. So, Dex, any other closing thoughts? Plug your
Uh,
stuff also while you're there.
yeah. Hey, postwavetrading.com. Come learn about these markets. I'm in the process of writing another study course. Uh, so that'll be up in a little bit. Also making some changes, adding some goodies for those that are subscribing to the premium trading room. So you're going to see some goodies that are going to be popping in there from time to time. Come on, right now, if you sign up for the post waves, you're going to get the old study course thrown in for free. If you sign up for the premium trading room right now, you'll get that for free. In addition to that, anyone who is a current subscriber to the premium post wave price triggers, which includes the premium trading room, when you subscribe, every book or training course that I come out with, you will get it for free. But you got to
Boom,
be
there you
a
go.
subscriber. You got to be a subscriber. Also, I was thinking about playing with some Patreon, but I don't think I'm gonna go that route. Only because what I'm doing is just so focused and different than what a lot of people are doing. I don't have time to do all that other stuff. I just do what I do and I keep it moving. So
Yes, you
come on,
do.
you guys,
Absolutely.
learn how to make that
Absolutely.
money.
There you go. All right, and I want to thank everyone for listening in. Again, V is on vacation. He's probably sitting on the beach somewhere, drinking a mai tai, or and having a banana. And he will be back next week. So it's been a lot of fun, Dex. Glad we got the show done this week.
Likewise, my man. Sorry I missed you the other day. Like I said, the whole household been sick. So, but we turned the
No
corner
worries. So
today.
we did it. Absolutely. So, but thank all listeners. Have a great weekend. Enjoy, and we are over and out.